Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on fire. Time for a girl on fire. Time for a
It always takes a minute now for us to say hello. Oh, Creed and I just started things at the same time. Almost like we planned it. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing well today. How do I look? Do I look date-worthy? Let me know what you think in the comments over there. I hope everybody is doing well. Hi, Christy, Wahoo, Donald, Beverly, Bob, Vicky, John. John trying to mess with everyone, telling them the date changed. No. Shane's here. That's the rumor, John. That's the rumor. But we'll see. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet is what I'll say. But I will also say Courtney lurking a little bit. That's fine. But we are indeed doing 2 cases tonight just for Miss Courtney. Aw, thank you guys. Oh, Adam's here too. Okay, so we can get going. Seriously, guys, I have been super busy YouTubing the last few days, getting a bunch of cases for us. So don't worry, we have some really good stuff. Billy. We have some really good stuff coming up, so I'm excited for that. But let's get going. Before we get started, can you guys do me a favor? You might change, by the way, when I click this button, but can you do me a favor, please? Like the video? It's so helpful. YouTube Daddy, you know how he be. Oh, you stayed pink. How lovely. Okay. And I'm sorry, John. Blue is a bit better. We can see the name. Oh, also, let's do the ASMR. Is that how they do it? No. I don't watch ASMR stuff. Can you tell? I want to drink this Coca-Cola. But I wanted to do that before I started. And I have a cup full of ice. Let's get going. MB, you're listening, but you can't chat right now. Well, don't worry. The second case is the, Christie's, you're dark blue. Or bright. I don't know what that's called, but you're blue. And, MB, this one is sort of like a funny one, quote unquote. And then the next one is the one that I'm very legally interested in. So, let's get going. As Katina would say, nothing to it but to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, tie that hair back. Let's get going. I'm not going to tie my hair back, but you can. So it was from yesterday. It was in the car. That's right.
Are both Mr. Joseph and Ms. Martell present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I see both of them now. All right, let's get this one on the record.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it looks like I sped this up to 1.25. Oh, I love her and Randy. I know, Christy, right? So great. And Beard Meets Food, of course. I eat lunch with Beard Meets Food every Sunday. Anyways, and I can't eat like that, obviously, but I just enjoy watching professional eaters for some reason. They're so great. Anyways, I gotta get my eyebrows done. 1.25 speed, it's gonna be fine. It's Texas, that makes it basically 1.
First now on the record, and this is Bell County cause number 25 DFAM 352,547. This is in the 169th Judicial District Court of Bell County, Texas, and this is in the interest of Joseph, minor child, non-custodial party being Sheldon Joseph, custodial party being Raven Marty. The court will take judicial notice of the court file. Note for the record that this is a non-agreed to child support review order. The court will take a note for the record that the state did attach exhibits to this AOP, to this petition, and it included an AOP and an investigative report. The court will note again also for the record, let's see, let me find the attachments. That there is an attached AOP that was executed back in December of 2020 by both the parties for this child.
Yes, sir.
And both parties agreed to be here, signed waivers to do such. So both parties are properly before the court this time. I'll ask the state for an opening to tell the court what the state is requesting at this.
Hi, Chuck. I just got to say something as a reminder. Coke in Canada is real sugar Coke. Top ingredient, water, but then sugar. So just so you know, I also only drink real sugar drinks. I'm just not a diet girly. I'm not. I wish I was. I'm not. Hi, Peter. But, so anyways, this is all real sugar, baby. And if you live near never mind, I'm not going to talk about border or cross-border shopping today.
This time and understands the agreements and disagreements to be on the record, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state prepared its proposed order based on the valid AOP. However, it's the state's understanding that Mr. Joseph is asking this court for a DNA test, and he's contesting the acknowledgement of paternity, while Ms. Barty is wanting the order as presented to the court confirmed.
All right. Okay, Mr. Joseph.
Yes, sir.
You had so many days after that AOP was signed to contest it legally.
Oh, okay.
I mean days, not years. This AOP is going on is over 4 years old now. Okay. It's carved in stone as far as the state of Texas is concerned, sir. So I know you're not a lawyer, but when you sign something and it becomes part of the documentation, you're kind of locked in unless you file the necessary paperwork to set aside the acknowledgement of paternity. And the court will note for the record, sir, that that's not in the paperwork here. I will also note that that's not in the paperwork here. You have not served that on the mother or the state. So sir, I'm kind of locked. I'm kind of locked at what I can do here because you haven't properly done what is necessary to set aside an acknowledgement of paternity, sir.
Okay, so sir, can I speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the thing about that AOP, I worked the night shift. Okay, I'm gone from the house at 2 in the afternoon. Sometimes I don't get home till 2 or 3 in the morning. Okay, this is when I was back before they was born. And so while I'm at work, come to find out while I'm at work, she's out doing her thing, getting drunk, smoking, drinking, doing whatever.
Okay, sir, stop. Here's the deal, sir. Okay, stop. You're getting into testimony why you wanted it, but again, that's not what the court can go into at this point. You have not filed the necessary paperwork to put this aside, sir. I can go ahead and set up a temporary order, and you can try to hire a lawyer to set this aside, sir, but you just can't come in and start saying, well, she was messing around, and I won't mandate that, because you're saying it 4 years later, sir. 4 years later.
Judge, I did not know that the child was not mine until I had no reason to have doubt in my mind, in my heart on this child. Okay. Never had a reason to.
All right, here's what, sir, again. You got to file the necessary paperwork, sir, or get a lawyer to do it for you. Ma'am, you can put your hand down. I'll let you testify in a moment. But for right now, again, sir, ma'am, the burden of proof falls on Mr. Joseph to set aside that knowledge of paternity, and there's nothing in this court file to set it aside, okay? It takes a legal filing, a legal pleading, and I don't have that.
See, I wasn't told that by the lady I spoke to from the Attorney General office on last month. Okay, the Attorney General doesn't represent you or mom. They make that clear, sir. So they can't give you legal advice. I can't give you legal advice. I can just tell you what the law requires, sir, and it requires. I'm not saying they're giving me legal advice, sir. What I'm saying is the lady that connected us to you, the one before her that I spoke to last month, she told me that. I asked her, well, I need a lawyer. She said no. I said, okay, thank you, because I can't afford one because I lost my job behind her. And not only that, I've been bouncing from job to job. I ain't been able to hold a steady job since I lost my job. Okay, and she said no. That's why I'm doing the appeal or whatever it is. She said she was doing for you to send it to you for us to see you for you to order the DNA test for us. And she also told me, she said if the DNA test come back that the baby is not yours, then you have nothing to worry about. But if she comes back yours, then this is the number that's going to be presented to you.
Okay,
this
here's
is
the
your
deal, sir.
responsibility.
Here's the deal. Stop. Here's the deal, sir. If that's what happened, then sir, I'm sorry. I'm the judge. She's not. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm telling you what I can do and I can't do, sir. And I cannot do this based on the current circumstances. I'm going to listen to what mom has to say, and then I'm going to go ahead and see what he got to do. But sir, it's problematic. Lawyers are expensive. I've been doing this job 20 years, and I've had the number of AOPs that have been successfully overturned based on pleadings in my court is less than 10. And I've done tens of thousands of cases. Okay. So it's not.
Oh my gosh, NPC, happy Friday. Thank you so much. You guys, did you hear what he just said? First of all, I want you to understand something. An AOP is an acknowledgement of paternity in the state of Texas, and it is a legal document. It is not something that you sign willy-nilly and not understand. And the judge knows this, but did you hear what he just said? He said, over my career as a judge, I have overturned an acknowledgement of paternity maybe 20 times. Well, Sheldon Joseph up here has a good response for that. He's got an idea of what he can do instead of paying child support. Can anybody guess? Also, thank you again, NPC. Love that.
Of AOPs that have been successfully overturned based on pleadings in my court is less than 10. And I've done tens of thousands of cases. Okay. So it's not easy because law is exacting when it requires something, sir. And again, you're coming in 4 years behind the time frame that you're allowed to dispute this. So that's the problem. But anyway, I'm going to give mom the opportunity to respond and see what she wants to try to do here also. But if the state and she are insisting that we go forward, sir, that's it. Okay. So the only thing I can do is the best I can do is make a temporary order and allow you the opportunity to go speak with legal counsel. So, ma'am, Miss Bart, is that Bartel? I'm sorry, let me look at it's Barty, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, you wanted to say something. It's your turn. Thank you.
Well, I was just defending myself on what he had to say, but
okay, well, ma'am, you do not have to defend yourself one way or the other. All I got to, even if you agree to a DNA test, technically I don't have to agree to it either. So at this point, ma'am, is there anything about his request for a DNA test that you want to tell the court, talk to a court about?
No, sir.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, Ms. Bungat.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, I got something I'd like to ask you, Judge. I would like to say.
Here's the thing. Yes, sir, Mr. Joseph, I'm here, but the bottom line, sir, I got to hold you to the same standards if you're a lawyer. So far, you haven't even got close. So is there a specific thing that you're asking the court to do other than to ask and then order DNA test in this case, sir? I can't. And if you got a question, I'll see what your question is, and I'll see if I can answer it one way or the other, sir. But if there's anything else specifically you want to tell me at this point on what the reasons I need to go ahead and do this, and the problem is, sir, you don't have anything on file, and mom's entitled to notice of anything that you're contesting, sir. As far as that, and again, I know you're not a lawyer, but yeah, I am. Sorry.
Wow.
All right, sir. What's your question?
No, it ain't a question at this point. I want to give all my rights up as a parent to that kid, man.
Stop. Okay. Here. All right, here. Okay, sir. I'll make it easy for you. Sir, that request is absolutely denied. You have not filed the paperwork to do that. Everything in a court of law requires pleading, sir. You have not. You can sit here and say you want to give up your rights. That's not a pleading, sir. And the state has the right to know that you want to do that. The count and the mom has the right to know to do that. And I will let you know. You talking about something that's hard to get done. That is in 20 years, sir. I've never done it because it's legally virtually impossible to do that unless someone's coming in to adopt your child and take your place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
But the fact that she lied to the court, it don't make
okay,
a difference, right?
I'm muting you, sir, because again, you're trying to make arguments to the court and it's not appropriate. I keep telling you, get a lawyer. I know you say you can't afford, get a lawyer, sir. Otherwise, this is not going to go anywhere. Absolutely.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you.
So, all right.
I got
All right. So is there anything else dealing with this motion to petition confirmation of not agreed to child support review order, Ms. Mongat?
So my state's understanding was Mr. Joseph's request for DNA was the preliminary part, Your Honor. And then as far as the rest of the substance of the order, I believe the first part, the parentage, was why he wouldn't sign off. I don't know necessarily whether there was an issue with how we calculated, other than what he was telling you about the employment scenario. So state's position is what it was earlier.
All right. Here's what we'll swear him in. We'll get some testimony. But here's the deal, sir. You do have the absolute right at the end of the hearing to do what's called a de novo to the district court, which means you get a second bite at the apple. But that means you better have a lawyer locked and ready to go, sir, because if you take it to district, that's as far as anybody in this county can deal with it. Otherwise, you got to go to the Court of Appeals in Austin. And I know, and you can't afford a lawyer for this. You definitely can't afford one for the Court of Appeals. So at this time, folks, we are on the record. And I'll listen to the regular testimony, but sir, I'm denying your request to set aside the acknowledgement of paternity because it has not been properly filed and noticed in conformity with the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. Again,
Okay.
I just went legal on you, sir, but unfortunately, that's what this is. So
Right.
at this time, I'll go ahead and swear both parties in, and the state may proceed with their testimony at this time. But the request for DNA test is denied.
Wow.
The parties already sworn in, Ms. Bungat?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
All right, here's the deal, Mr. Joseph, Ms. Barty, raise your right hands, folks. You both solemnly swear or affirm your testimony gonna give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you.
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
Chris, you're under oath. I'm gonna let the state call you both as witnesses. Again, what we're proceeding on is the court order for custody, child support, and visitation in this matter, and the issue dealing with the DNA test is the court has denied, and I'll allow the state to proceed on what's actually before the court this time. You may call your first witness, Ms. Mongat. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Ms. Barty. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Raven Barty. Well, Raven Ashanti Barty.
Who is the child in this case? Sorry, ma'am, and it may be me, but would you please repeat? I think you were cutting out.
You want her whole name?
Yes, please.
Miracle Yvette Rosina Joseph,
And how are you related to her?
her mother,
And ma'am, who is the acknowledged father of Miracle?
Sheldon Joseph.
And ma'am, is it correct that you and he were the people who
Ah.
signed that acknowledgement of paternity admitting to be her parents?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that done shortly after she was born in December of 2020?
Yes, and
And you've had an opportunity to see the order prepared by the Attorney General's office, correct, ma'am?
yes, ma'am.
And I believe you had signed off because you were in agreement and wanted the court to approve it today.
Yes, ma'am.
Having heard the initial information provided by Mr. Joseph, has that changed your mind about wanting the order confirmed?
No.
And how does Miracle have health coverage?
Medicaid.
And it was for that reason, ma'am, that you understood the state to be asking for both cash medical and child support from Mr. Joseph?
I'm not too sure on the Medicaid because they told me I had to have Medicaid.
And sorry, what did you just testify to your daughter having?
Medicaid.
Okay. And so in the proposed order, all of that paperwork coming to roughly 33 pages,
Mhm.
Were you also asking for back child support or just current?
Back.
And when exactly,
Oh,
ma'am,
is
did
that, ma'am?
you and Mr. Joseph separate?
Ooh. Yeah, I think October of 2021.
And since that time, ma'am, has he provided financial support to you for Miracle?
No.
And so, ma'am, you understood what my colleague calculated to be the full amount with no credits between March 10th of 2021 until March 10th of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you were wanting the court to approve that $19,972.38 judgment and set repayment at $150 beginning April, which was on top of current child and medical support?
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as the current support amount, you were wanting the court to approve the $481 calculated?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you aware of Mr. Joseph having any other children besides Miracle?
No.
And so that's part of why we calculated the cash medical to be $133 a month.
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm asking you if you were aware of the amount.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. And then, ma'am, before the investigative report that was submitted to the court, did you have any firsthand knowledge about Mr. Joseph's earnings or income?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, ma'am. I'll be back to you in a moment. I'll let you call your next witness, please. Thank you.
State calls Mr. Joseph. Sir, what is your full name?
You muted, sir.
Sheldon Joseph.
And sir, were you able to hear my questioning of Miss Barty?
Yes.
And sir, you are the person who signed the acknowledgement of paternity for Miracle?
Yes.
And was Miss Barty correct that you do not have any other children?
Yeah.
And so, sir, as far as the support amounts that my office had calculated, were you saying that those were not correct?
Ma'am, none of this is correct.
Understood, sir, but
not
specifically.
I'm not being difficult. I'm just being straightforward. It's nothing correct on that stuff.
All
None
right.
of it. And I have messages proving that from her.
Okay.
Which,
Okay, here's the deal, sir. Again, I know you're not a lawyer, but any messages you may think you have until they've been shown that they're not hearsay and presented as evidence before this court, then you cannot testify to anything extraneous that's out there, sir. So again, if you want to properly get the messages in, they have to come in. They got to be shown that they're not hearsay, and then they could be admitted. But until that happens, sir, you cannot testify to any written information you have that's not being confirmed as being accurate and truthful and admissible as evidence under the Texas rules of evidence. I rarely have to say that one in this courtroom, but there are rules of procedure and rules of evidence, and right now those are not before the court in a proper fashion, sir. So the state may proceed.
okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. And sir, while you've stated that nothing in the order is correct, with regard to your rights and duties as a parent, were you also disputing those?
Yes.
And so, sir, while we ask that you and Ms. Barty be named joint managing conservators, you're saying you want less than that, or what exactly is the issue?
Well, the judge shut me down for everything, so I don't know where he missed out, what to say, because he's shutting down everything I bring up. Yeah. Because for one, I've been there from day one, before she had the baby, when she had the baby at the hospital, and right up to 2022, I was with her. Okay. The fact that she would say that I wasn't there from day one and she's not gonna get no credit, I think it's just crazy.
Mr. Joseph, sir, I'm going to stop you a second. This part of the hearing is me asking questions and you either answering or not. So would you mind doing that, sir?
Okay.
All right. Now the state's going to ask you questions, sir, whether or not you and the mother lived together with the child in the last 4 years, and she'll confirm that one way or the other with both of you. Thank you, Ms. Montgomery. Go down that street. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Joseph, did you and Ms. Barty live together since Miracle was born?
Yes.
And from what years of her life or years period can you tell the court you two lived under the same roof?
From when she was pregnant, when she had the baby, and after she had the baby.
When did you stop living together?
2022. Excuse me.
What month in 2022?
Actually, no, sorry. It was late towards like Christmas time of 21.
Okay, so around December of 21 is when you're saying you two stopped living together.
Yeah, because I was there, yes.
Okay. Since December of 21, sir, when you two stopped living together, did you provide any financial support to Miss Barty?
I was sending her money for daycare. And this is before I found out anything about the other stuff. But I was sending money for daycare. I was paying her mom rent. It's stuff that I done did. Yeah.
Mr. Joseph, as far as the money you were sending for daycare, how were you doing that?
Cash App from maybe Federal, my bank account. Sometimes I would give her cash.
Okay, for the Cash App and your bank account, do you happen to have any of the statements showing that?
No, but I can get them.
And so, sir, that began after December of 21 and continued until when?
I'm not exactly sure.
What
But I know
about
Miracle was 2 years old when everything stopped. It was just after her second birthday.
Yes, sir. So if the separation was December of 21 and you're saying by her second birthday in December of 22, you no longer supported her through Miss Barty in any way?
from 22, no, ma'am.
Okay. What amount, sir, was the daycare amount you were sending?
It was 100 and I want to say 140 something, 149, 150, somewhere around there. Or was it more than that? I would have to look, ma'am. I'm not gonna just throw a number out just because I won't be, correct.
All right.
So it's like 100. It was 100 something dollars every 2 weeks or something like that.
So the daycare, as you understand it costing, was 300 or so each month?
Mm, uh, it was 147. 147
Okay.
is what it was. Every 2 weeks?
You guys, your comments remind me of a case I did on my other channel, my first baby. That the child's name was Midnight Rain, and the comment section fucking was savage. It was hilarious. But you guys are doing almost as good with Miracle here. Born on 34th Street. Middle name Whip.
Or every week? A week? Something like that.
Okay. And so, sir, besides the 147 every 2 weeks that you send through Cash App or your bank account or even cash between December of 21 and December of 22, was there anything else that you provided to Miss Barty?
I paid rent at her mom's place for her mom because her mom was out of work. But she's
Okay,
a teacher or whatever.
sir. It's got to be for the mother, not for not a relative. It's, either
She was living with the mom. Her and the baby was in the mom's house.
So, Mr. Joseph, when the two of you lived together, was that in a home with anybody else?
I had my own place, and I was staying over there with them every now and then, like more often than I should have really been. Okay, so yeah, her mom was there, her sister was there, her husband was there. Yes.
And was it the same, sir, combination of Cash App, your bank account, and cash, or
Yeah.
were you directly paying the rent?
Everything I do is a Cash App or the bank, ma'am.
Okay.
Sometimes sometimes I give her cash.
And so, sir,
If I have it on me or not.
okay. Anything else, sir, besides the daycare and the rent that you paid in that 1 year period? Okay. Moving on, sir, to the current support part. My colleague's investigative report said you were making roughly 2,000 or so in the net resources. Was that amount correct or incorrect?
Yeah, it's correct. I just started the job just like a month ago. So yeah, it's correct. I would think, yeah.
Okay, got it. Anything else, sir, you wanted the court to know, based on my questions, that you want them to consider at this point?
What I'm asking the court for at this point is if they could put a hold on the order that's in front of us right now, and allow me to go and get some legal advice to do, what I need to do. I mean, because I'm not no attorney and I don't know what I'm doing. It's my first time with any of this type of stuff, so that's all I'm asking for the judge. And he already denied the DNA test, which I don't know. I just need to talk to somebody legally about it if I could get that much.
Understood, sir.
And set another court date if we can.
The two more questions, if you don't mind, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever served in the military?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever received any type of disability finding?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead and recall Ms. Barty to close out any further information. Thank you, Ms. Mangad.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Barty, were you able to hear Mr. Joseph's testimony?
You muted, ma'am.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Were you able to hear Mr. Joseph's testimony?
Yes.
And so, ma'am, do you recall receiving payments after he moved out in December of 21 for daycare or rent?
No, he was never paying daycare because when I had the baby, it was during COVID and daycares wasn't open.
So as far as you and he living together until December of 21, was that correct?
No, he would spend the night, yeah, but like as far as living, no. And then on as far as rent, my mom asked for help. He took it upon himself to give her the whole rent amount.
Do you happen to have the Cash App or bank records like Mr. Joseph was saying he might have?
No, in that aspect, when he paid the rent, he sent it to my mom's account. So I don't even.
All right, ma'am, do you have any Cash App? Do you ever recall getting funds from the father through Cash App since you two separated?
No.
Okay.
I'll go to my Cash App.
All right, Ms. Bond, got any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, folks, this is a good one. This deal, sir. You signed that AOP. Well, it is what it is, and it wasn't rescinded in the conformity with what the law says it has to be rescinded. So it's still in full force and effect. What I will do, I will give you the opportunity to go out and talk to a lawyer. But for right now, the child is yours. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up as a temp. I'm gonna go ahead and order temporary child support based on the circumstances, sir. That is going to be due the first day of May. I'm going to reset this matter for a pretrial in May. And for right now, I'm just going to, based on the fact that there's some animosity going on here, I'm going to name I'm technically going to name you both joint management service, but I'm going to go ahead and give mom the right to decide domicile. But until further order of the court, sir, I'm not going to set up any visitation or anything until we come back and nail this down one way or the other. But I am going to go ahead and order child support because, sir, again, legally under the law, you're this child's father, and from all the testimony you had, you have not paid her any support for the last 2 years. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up as a temporary order temporary child support, temporary cash medical, the first day of May. I'm going to go ahead and reset this on a general docket for one of our May dates. So if you have an attorney to show up, and I'm setting it up as what's called a pretrial. I will, if you and your lawyer if you hire a lawyer, your lawyer show up, and we'll set this up as a pretrial and set this up for a final hearing where you're the only case I have at that time. If even if you don't show up with a lawyer, sir, I'm going to set this up for a final hearing on a date certain, no matter what. So. But if you hire a lawyer, obviously your lawyer will know what to do, and your lawyer know how to set up getting any and all counter petitions and pleadings out there to do what you may want to try to do, and know how to get that information to both the state and to Ms. Barty. But for right now, sir, I got to set up something, and that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, I hate to make you guys come back.
No, it's fine. I thank you for that. But the reason why I say that is because I'm looking at my Cash App, and in 2022, in August 2022, I'm sending her daycare money.
Stop. Yes, sir. I know you get tired of me saying this, but for right now, until that documentation has been printed out and presented as evidence and is shown to be admissible as evidence, you cannot testify to that at this point, sir.
Okay, I got you.
Talk to the lawyer, and if your attorney can show that, then we again. But for right now, sir, I'm looking at going ahead, like I said, starting temporary child support. I'm not going to get the child mixed up in the middle of this until we come back and get a final order. So I'm not going to set up any visitation or access at this time. And I'm going to look at, is there a day of the week that fits your schedule best to come back? And so for a pretrial, that's going to be easy. You'll be one of the first things I handle in the morning, and you'll get out of here. If you got a lawyer, if you don't have a lawyer, you'll still get out of here, because I will set this for a final hearing and get it done as fast as I can. But for right now, I'm looking at this is the 10th of April. I'm looking for a pretrial date. Okay, so I'm looking at the week of the 19th. That's not Memorial Day, so that should work. So
anything on a Friday, sir?
I don't have general dockets on the Friday, sir.
Okay.
Wait a second. It's the San Saba docket on in May.
Yes, Your Honor, on the 16th.
All right, sir. I have a docket for San Saba County, but I will place this one on that docket, and that'll probably work out well for you, because San Saba is usually only 4 or 5 cases. Right. So y'all will get in and out real fast. But for right now, I'm going to name give mom the sole right to decide the residency of the child and the right to receive child support and cash medical. I'm not going to order any visitation or contact with you or the child until we come back. And I'm going to reset this to the 16th of May to give you the opportunity to see about retaining counsel and having your counsel file the necessary paperwork to do what your counsel thinks needs to be done, or however y'all want to handle it. And that includes the possibility of them filing something to set aside the AOP, but at least to show what to confirm or by written information that the information you're trying to tell the court about paying child support or giving monies to the mom through Cash App or admissible, and the court will take at that point we'll take them into consideration. Again, folks, this is just going to be the necessity of y'all circumstances. Again, I hate to make y'all come back, but again, I'll do it on the 16th, and that is always a lot smaller docket than today, and that docket starts at 9:30 a.m. So I'm going to start with you, sir. Any
9:30
questions?
a.m. What time is that Pacific? Because I just set my alarm, but I'll change it. Hey Google, change the last alarm to 7:30 a.m. please. Okay.
No, sir. I mean, it's nothing I could talk about because it's testimony, and y'all not doing that today.
Okay, again, sir, that's why I was asking any questions about the reset or anything like that.
Okay, so you're saying that I have to start paying on the 1st of next month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow.
Because, sir, you're listed with the state of Texas as being the father of your child. So that's that.
Oh, Julie, thank you so much. You're so sweet. I love that. I think I'm my own alter ego sometimes. I appreciate that support so much. Hi, Jessica. You guys are just in time. We are about to hit our case of the night. This is going to be very interesting for us legal junkies, but I'm excited. Okay. Yay. Thank you again. And I honestly would have ended this case like 10 minutes ago, but I can't count on him not to say something stupid.
And it's good. Okay.
All right, you need to unmute, sir. Sorry. I was getting some feedback back. Okay. Any questions, sir? Any other questions?
Yeah, I was saying the child don't know me yet, so yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, again, that's not a question, sir.
No,
All right,
I think
Ms.
that's
Barty.
fine.
Okay, Ms. Barty, questions, ma'am.
No, sir.
All right, let's get this one wrapped up. And again, sir, I know lawyers are expensive, but you gotta get your ducks in a row on the 16th. Otherwise, I'll set it for a final and get this thing done. Or and if y'all don't want to come back and want to set up the final that date, we'll do that date. But for right now, I'm setting it as a pretrial, and we'll see. Ms. Bungard, anything else?
16th of next month.
Yes, sir. 9:30 a.m. You'll get the Zoom code in a reset order.
Okay.
Your Honor, the temporary order was only dealing with current support, not retroactive, correct?
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right. See everybody on the 16th, and we're off the record. Thank you, folks. Sorry for the lateness. Doesn't matter. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're excused, Judge. You're excused because here we go. Case of the thumbnail. I ain't no clickbaiter. I'm a baiter, but not a clickbaiter. Anyways, we'll note Miss Bonya is here again. So brief overview. This case is in the middle of
Your Honor,
litigation.
at this time, we're just waiting on Mr. Tisdale's client to join the main room.
There's
And,
been a
he's
guardian. Hold on, I'll just give the brief overview. This case has been in litigation for a little while. Both parents are active duty U.S. military personnel. And obviously, we're watching this out of Texas. The child has been assigned a guardian ad litem by Judge Nelson. And that guardian ad litem will be heard from. This case was split up into 2 hearings in the same day. They took the testimony from the dad here because he is on base in military and needed to go. And so that's why they were doing this. And then the guardian ad litem joins later. I got both parts. And very worryingly, mom does not show up. But she has taken the child out of the country. And, yeah, against a standing order. So that's sort of where we're at now. And let's continue.
Let's get this on the record. All right, this time, court's going to go ahead and call Curriell County calls number DC-22-53,639. This is in the 440th Judicial District Court of Curriell County, Texas, and is in the interest of Graham minor child, non-custodial party being Robert Graham, custodial party being Heaven Johnson. The court will know for the record that Mr. Graham is present, Mr. Tisdale is present. And I think the state says you have an announcement for Mr. Glass, who's also the attorney on this matter.
Correct, Your Honor.
The court will note that Mr. Tisdale is representing the mom in this matter. So I'll ask the state for go ahead and make that announcement as per the circumstances involving Mr. Glass. Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr.
Judge,
Tisdale represents Mr. Graham, the father.
I'm sorry?
Correct.
Mr.
Oh,
Tisdale
I'm
represents
sorry,
Mr. Graham.
I misread. Okay, I'm sorry. I misread the answer. Sorry about that. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The court appointed Mr. Glass as attorney ad litem for the child in this case because primary conservatorship was in dispute. This matter has been reset multiple times, partly because both parents are active duty military. Mr. Graham's testimony will be he is still stationed in Hawaii, while the mother was initially in Korea at the start of these hearings, but has since moved to Germany. And today, Your Honor, with the court's permission, we'd like to move forward with a final default. Mr. Glass is currently handling a contested matter in the 169th, but he is aware of what Mr. Tisdale and the state are wanting to do today. And so we'd like to preserve Mr. Graham's testimony based on apparent work conflict, and then have the court rule once it hears the ad litem's recommendation.
Okay. All right. I was under the impression that she was going to be in Korea for 3 years. And we've been doing this for a couple, but obviously that's kind of the problem. So, all right.
And,
all right. It's Mr. Tisdale. Go right ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, yes, this case actually was filed while the child was still residing in Coryell County. The mother took the child to South Korea in violation of the court's standing order. There were temporary orders eventually put in place, including electronic communication between my client and the child. My client did do his summer visit in Korea. The mother has since cut off all communication with my client. He's had no access for over a month at this point. The mother has again moved, it's our understanding, from South Korea to Germany. We don't know exactly where. It's our understanding she was given notice of this case. My client is asking.
But I have a question. If they're both active duty military, doesn't the military sort of care when you have court? Like, shouldn't they know where she is? Isn't there an internal process to deal with that? I'm very confused. No, she's American, Lisa. She's also a service member. Both of these people are currently serving active duty. But my whole point being, like, I don't know how that works, obviously, as a Canadian. I know that in Canada, people that are in the military can be deployed even as parents of young children, and I think it's the same in America. She's not AWOL though, Bill. We find that she's ostensibly working. And I'm just confused why they don't care about civil cases, but will give service members time to attend court. And will they help you locate one that's deployed? You have to assume if she's living in South Korea, there's lots of U.S. military bases in South Korea. And Germany also has multiple U.S. and Canadian military bases. So again, my whole point being, like, it just seems like they would know.
For to be appointed the primary conservator of the child, joint managing conservatorship, my client being able to designate the residence without regard to geographic location, ordering mom to pay child support. We are concerned that if mom is granted an order giving her custody, that it's very possible my client may never see this kid again. They are both active duty military. We're hoping that if we can get an order appointing my client as primary and ordering mom to pay child support, that we may be able to get custody eventually and get primary possession to my client. He knows that he's going to have to hire other counsel for that if she is in fact in Germany. And so so that's what we're asking for today, Judge. This mom has made it very difficult for dad to be involved. He was involved in the child's life when the child was here. Mom has absconded and tried to cut dad off completely. And in fact, has actually filed something. I don't know that it was ever consolidated into this case, asking the court to change the child's name. And so we are asking that, again, my client, JMC, my client primary, mom, some kind of possession schedule, whatever the court would order at that point, and then order mom to pay child support.
All right then. What's the understanding from Mr. Glass on this, folks?
Your Honor,
Judge,
my
I've
understanding.
had convers. Go ahead, Victor.
Go ahead, Mr.
Sorry.
Tisdale. You and he have spoken about it more at length.
Judge, I've spoken with Mr. Glass. He has no issues with my client having access to the child, and we don't believe that he is opposed to my client being appointed primary conservator given the circumstances. He has no safety concerns from my client, and so we don't. I believe that he's going to say that it's kind of a toss up at this point. He was concerned that mom had cut off the access to my client. And so I do think that may play a role in what he recommends. But my understanding is that he's not opposed to our seeking our relief.
All right then. Well, I'm probably going to need his information, but let's get some testimony from your client to confirm that this is what he wants, and we'll see where this goes. Because again, this is I was expecting this to be to try to wrap up the Korea thing, and then I got to deal with good old Germany. So there we go. All right, this time,
yes, Judge.
Mr. Graham, you there, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, raise your right hand, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm, sir, any testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start this hearing, sir, but if the ad litem insists on getting some testimony from you, sir, we may have to come back and do some more testimony. But let's see what let me go ahead and start it out, and let's see what we've got, because I'm pretty sure you're going to confirm everything your lawyer just said, and we'll take it from there. Thank you. You may proceed at this time and call your client as a witness, Mr. Tisdale, and allow Ms. Mungat to cross-examine at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Graham, would you state your name, please?
Robert Graham.
And you're the father of the child in this case, correct?
Yes.
All right. What's the child's name?
Robert Graham Jr.
All right. And how old is he?
He's 3 years old now. He'll be 4 in August.
All right. And you heard my opening statement regarding the last time you spoke with your child. Is that accurate?
Yes.
All right. Now, this court ordered you to have some period of summer possession in Korea. Were you able to exercise that?
Yes, I was.
All right. How many days did you spend with the child?
I spent 2 weeks with the child.
All right. Did he recognize you? How did that go?
It went better than I thought it would have gone. I think it went pretty well. He was excited. He played around. At some point, didn't want to leave and stuff like that. So I thought it went well.
Okay. And you have other children, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do they live with you?
Yes, my daughter lives with me.
How old is she?
My daughter will be turning 15 in May.
Okay. And you have custody of her through a court order?
Yes. Not through a court order, but physical custody.
Physical custody, and is that through an agreement with the mother?
Yes.
Okay. And she resides there, and y'all are in Hawaii, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you active duty military?
Yes, I am.
All right. What's your pay grade?
I'm at E6 currently, right now.
Okay. And how many years of service do you have at this point?
I'm currently at 11 years right now.
Okay. And the mother of the child in this case is Heaven Johnson?
Yes.
Okay. And she is also active duty military as far as you're aware. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what is her pay grade?
Last time, she's a sergeant, E5.
Okay. And I believe that you had stated, and the state may be able to clean this up, but you had stated to us previously that you thought she'd been in around 10 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. But certainly more than 8, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does she have any other children?
I'm aware of 2.
So you believe that she has 3 children total, 1 in this case and 2 other children?
Yes.
Okay. And do those children live with her?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Okay. Were they present in Korea when you did your visit?
I got a glimpse of one, which is bigger one, the older one, and the other, a smaller, a baby.
Okay. And you, my opening statement, I mentioned that she had moved to Germany. Did she tell you that she moved to Germany?
She told me she was moving to Germany before she moved. And then when she got there, she told me she was there. And yeah.
Okay. And it's your understanding that that was a permanent change of duty station?
Yes, from my understanding, yes.
Okay. And as far as you're aware, she is in or around Frankfurt, Germany. That was the last you understood. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the court also ordered and granted you some periods of electronic communication, including some very detailed times at when you were to be able to access the child electronically. Were you able to do any of those communications via video chat?
I was able to do those communications, but sometimes they were short as like 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, sir.
or
You kind of
something
cracked
like
up on me. Could you repeat that answer? Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, your connection
I
is a little.
was able to get communication. Yeah. Can you hear me better now? Is it better now?
Somewhat. Let's try again. So were you able to exercise? Yes, sir. Were you able to exercise any of those electronic communications with your child?
Yes, I was, but sometimes they were as short as 5 minutes. Sometimes he seemed a little bit distracted. Sometimes I wouldn't get a call. Since the start of this year, the calls were getting less and less. The last
it looks
call
like he's
I got-
trying to say something, but it's not coming through.
Oh, that's weird. I
Yeah,
can hear him clearly. I'm sorry, Judge.
Okay, I
signal
couldn't
is-
hear him.
my
Can you repeat
signal
that
is a
last
little
answer,
low.
Mr. Graham?
Yes, the last call I got to talk to him was on the 23rd.
John is making a 50-year-old movie reference, Carol. Don't worry. We know we know that the Germans didn't bomb Pearl Harbor, but was it over when they did? No. I got it, John.
You hear Miss Bongat?
I cannot, Your Honor.
Okay, I
Hello?
just want to make sure it's not me. I'm by myself. Thank you.
Hello?
That's weird. Yes, sir. I can hear you just fine, but the court cannot. Mr. Graham, can you repeat your answer? What did you just state?
The last time I spoke to him was on the 23rd of February.
Judge, were you able to hear that?
I heard it. I heard it. Got it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge. And so since then, you have not been in communication with either the mother or the child. Is that correct?
No, I haven't. Sent out a message stating that
When did you send that?
asked if she was okay, and okay, and I haven't received a message since. I want
It's 46. Sorry,
if I
MB.
wasn't gonna talk to my son.
All right, that was real garbled
And I don't-
right there.
That was
I can
bad.
hear it.
Yeah,
It was garbled. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I
Is
couldn't
it
hear that
better?
at all.
Is it better now?
Okay, that's
A
better.
little
Yes.
bit better.
At one
So
point, I
you
sent her on. She stopped.
No, it's going out again, sir. It's not coming through, sir. Sorry.
Mr. Graham, are you still there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm gonna go outside. Hold on,
Okay.
just a minute. I'm gonna go outside.
So this is sad if this is true, and the judge is probably not going to be very happy about it. But he's done the right thing, hired a lawyer.
Is it better now?
All right, yes. Go
I
ahead
can
and
hear
try
you
again,
now.
sir.
So, Mr.
Okay.
Graham, you were saying that you sent the mother a message since February. When did you send her the last message?
The last message I sent was last weekend because I'd
Okay.
asked her if her and my son was okay because I haven't heard from them, and she didn't answer. Before on the third of March, I sent her a message asking her if I'm not going to get any more calls until the court hearing. She responded saying that she had just gotten to Germany and she wasn't really settled in as yet, and she got sent off to a 30-day training. So that's why I haven't gotten any calls. So I reached out to her and let her know that, okay, you could have let me know, at least we could have made some arrangements for me to get calls or something, but not letting me know anything's kind of now making me worried and concerned if everything is okay.
Okay. And since that message, have you?
I fucking agree. I hate it when you don't hear anything and you reach out and you don't get a message back. But I have rejection sensitivity disorder, so it's like, but exactly, these are questions we have. Who cares for her 3 small children in Germany while she's off unable to make phone calls for 30 days? Ooh.
Had any communication with your child?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And was that the message that was sent in February?
That was a message that was sent on the second of March.
Okay. And so it's been now more than a month since that message, and you still have had no communication with your son. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking the court today to appoint you and the mother as joint managing conservators?
Yes.
Are you asking the court today to grant you the exclusive rights to designate the residence of the child and enroll the child in school?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to order the mother to pay child support based on the guidelines?
Yes.
Okay. This court entered a temporary order that you were to pay her child support. Have you been paying that?
Yes, it comes straight out of my check.
Okay. And to your knowledge, you've paid every month that you were ordered to. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking the court to order that that she hand the child over to you on or before May 1st?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that the court?
Carol asks if this gets interesting, and then there's MB and I who are like, wow, oh my God, he did not. Like, I said this is going to be a legal case for legalese lovers and legal people because this is very interesting. With apologies, I don't mean any disrespect, but like there's not the case before this, there was an idiot in a car who tried to relinquish his rights, which is sort of like annoying. But this case is very interesting to me because this guy's going about all this in the very like legal way, and we don't see that very often. He's asking for a complete change of custody, change of country for this child. Huge. Anyways, I'm not saying, but the bomb, like, we're not going to see either parent on the screen. This is going to be a much more of a legal discussion between the judge and lawyers, etc. So, do be warned. Doobie, I'm rolling one. It makes it all better.
Needs to be aware of?
Just the only thing is, I'm currently in Alabama right now, going to a school. I get back on the 24th to Hawaii on the 24th of April, and then I leave for the Philippines on the 15th, the 12th of May, and then I get back from the Philippines the 15th of July.
Now, when you are on these trainings, do you have the ability to care for your children?
Yes.
You have someone that can watch the children?
Yes.
Okay. And both you and the mother being active duty, this is not something that is out of the ordinary for both of you. Is that correct?
No, it's not.
Okay. Judge, I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bungay, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Graham, is your son in school at this time?
I don't know, ma'am.
What year is he supposed to be in?
He's 4 years old, so I'm thinking he's still in daycare.
And sir, as far as the health coverage for your son, do you know what's in place right now?
So far as I'm tracking, she's military, so she should at least have him on track here currently.
And have you made any attempts, sir, to add him to your own and been told you can't because he's already covered?
No, I haven't tried because I think when the last one of the hearings we did, she had stated that, and then because I don't have the correct documents to do that, I don't have the birth paper and stuff like that, so I can't really do that until all that is sorted out.
And so as far as that issue, sir, you're wanting her to maintain it if it's in place or let you know so you can get it for him?
Yes, if it's not in place, then she can let me know, so I could do that. As far as it goes, it comes down to the communication. She doesn't communicate with me to let me know what's needed or anything like that. If it's something that she needs, all she got to do is communicate it and say what's needed or how we could adjust or stuff like that. But that's not being done.
Under the temporary order, you and she were supposed to use app close. Was that your understanding?
Yes, and that's what I have been using.
And so, sir, if necessary, you could provide the record of your attempts to communicate with her and the lack of response.
Yes, it's currently on there right now.
Sorry, would you repeat that part, sir?
I say it's currently on the app right now.
Okay. And then, sir, as far as, well, actually, Your Honor, at this time, state offers into evidence 2 exhibits, the first being a payment record and the second being a certificate of military status.
I have no objection, Your Honor.
Do you think I should block those?
Okay, I got the military status. So I'll make this stage one. I'm sorry. Okay, okay, I got this payment record. The status states 1 is admitted. Payment record states 2 is admitted. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Graham, your attorney having had the chance to see those, you've had the ability to pay your support all through the state disbursement unit and nothing direct to Ms. Johnson.
Yes, it comes out of my check. It's been withheld through my LES. It says that it comes, so it goes direct because it was ordered to be withheld to be sent out.
And then, sir, as far as you were aware, the state had gotten information on that military status that she joined the military in 2016. And so we were looking at over 8 years for her base pay.
I would think so. I'm not sure of her. I'm not sure how many years or so she's been in, so I can't really speak on that.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass the witness and the state rests subject to close.
Mr. Tisdale, anything else on the redirect, sir?
Just briefly, Judge, I apologize. Mr. Graham, you are currently not on the child's birth record listed as father. Is that correct?
No, I'm not.
Okay. And so you are also asking.
Excuse, sir. Where was the child born, please?
The child was born in Texas.
At Darnell or another military base?
No, Darnell.
Okay, okay, so Bell County, Texas. Got it. Okay. He was born in Bell County. Thank you. You may proceed then, Mr. Tisdale. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And so you are asking the court to order that your name be put on the birth record as father. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, no one.
And provide me with whatever documents I would need so that I could take it to my dear's office or something if I need to get insurance or TRICARE started.
Yes, sir. So you are, and as far as you are aware, there is no other father listed on that birth record to remove. Is that correct?
Not that I'm tracking.
Okay. And given the situation of where you are living and where the mother is living, if the court does grant you custody of this child, would it be more convenient that the court order that you have the child on your TRICARE?
Yeah, I think it would be more convenient.
Okay. And so if the court does order that you have custody of this child and can determine the residence, then you're asking the court to order that you maintain TRICARE?
Yes.
Okay. And then any unreimbursed expenses for medical would just be split 50-50. You and the mother would each be responsible for paying half?
Yeah, or I could just handle it. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Judge, I think I'll pass witness. I don't think I have anything further, Judge.
All right, sir. Do you know what the mom's MOS is? What does she do for the military?
I'm aware of her being supply.
Okay.
I think she's 92 Alpha, 92 Yankee. One of them.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anything else on Cross at this time, Ms. Mongat?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll listen to closing here, guys. This is a stretch. Sir, how long are you gonna be in the Philippines?
45 days from the 15th of May. No, 2 months from the 15th of May to the 15th of July.
Okay. And your current family will remain in Hawaii. They're in Hawaii right now. They'll remain in Hawaii. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
All right. And when do you do back stateside? So how long are you supposed to be in Hawaii? How much longer do you have in Hawaii?
I'm
sorry. When I say stateside, I'm thinking I'm still good. You know, Hawaii's still a state, but it's not. It's definitely not that close. So when is that, sir? Thank you.
So I'm scheduled to leave the 26th 2026, but I already applied for an extension to stay until 2028, August 2028.
Okay, thank you.
And Judge, if I may, just to clarify, sir, you asked for that extension because your daughter's in high school, is that correct?
Yes,
And you're trying to make it so that she can graduate from there?
yes.
Okay. All right, Judge. I have no other question. I just want to clarify that since you asked those questions, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So, Your Honor,
I didn't know what I wouldn't know why anybody would want to stay in Hawaii. Okay, not with that cola. No, but anyway,
right.
yeah. All right,
Judge.
I'll go ahead and let everybody make a closing statement. I'm definitely going to have to hear from the ad litem because again, folks, this is a tough stretch here. Okay, so let's I'll go ahead and let you make your closing and then let Ms. Mongat make hers. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I think that the actions of the mother have clearly indicated that she's trying to alienate the father from the child and alienate the child from the father. Again, she's violated the standing order. She left the country. She went to South Korea. She's violating the current order right now, not allowing my client access to the child. She's made this very difficult throughout. She's been very difficult throughout the case. She has asked the court to change the child's name, including the last name and everything. The father's not listed on the birth certificate. He had a close relationship with this child before she left. That was brought up in previous testimony and previous hearings. The mother is, we believe, trying her hardest to not allow the father access to this kid. He clearly is a loving father. He knows how to parent. He has possession of his other child. He's doing what he can for those kids. Both of these parents are military, so the fact that my client may be in the Philippines from time to time or stateside here in Alabama from time to time, he's testified that mom told him that she was also in training for 30 days. And so I don't believe that any of that should be held against, quite frankly, either of these parents, just given their military status. But we do believe that mom's actions outside of that are detrimental to the child. And we believe that dad has never tried to keep the child from mom, and we don't believe he would. And so we do believe that ordering that he be the exclusive parent, having the right to designate the residence and enroll the child in school would be in this child's best interest. And so we're asking for joint managing conservatorship. He's clearly paid everything he's supposed to pay for child support. And in fact, I think that the pay record showed that he's actually paid above and beyond what he was supposed to pay. And so if there is an overage, we would ask that that be noted in the order. Given the circumstance and the logistics and where both of these parties are, we do understand that there can't be an immediate turnover of the child, but we do believe that May 1st is appropriate. It gives both of these parents time to handle the logistics and get this child to Hawaii from Germany. And so, yes, Judge, that's what we're asking for.
No, the state doesn't have a dog in that hunt. Well, I'll ask for your closing statement for the dog you do have in the hunt, Ms. Mongat. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's the state's understanding that the temporary order from 2024 did order the child's surname changed to reflect that Mr. Graham is father, and so a copy of that taken to the appropriate people would change it. The state's position on the health coverage, Your Honor, is that the court make appropriate rulings based on the ultimate determination as to which parent is primary. If the court decides to change it so Mr. Graham is primary, child support from Miss Johnson based on her E5 pay grade and the more than 8 years of service based on that military status certificate would be $813 a month. This does take into account the other two minor children, so that would be 16% of our net $5,079.30, a combination of the base pay and BAH for the Killeen area as opposed to Germany. And then as far as the rest of the order, Your Honor, retroactive was pled for, but we're not required to have it in this case. And I don't believe well, we don't have mother's testimony on it either way, and I don't believe father is entitled to it based on the testimony heard today. If father remains the non-custodial parent, the state's not requesting any changes to his support obligation. With regard to the pay record, Your Honor, our temporary orders fall off the system after a year if they haven't been finalized. So Mr. Graham may not actually be paid ahead, but if he is, obviously, we'll make sure he gets the excess funds. And I believe that was it, Your Honor. Given parents' military status, I believe the court was also waiving costs if they haven't already done so.
All right, guys. And no one heard from mom today, but I think dad testified something that she may be in the field in Germany. Is that correct?
I
Yes,
think that was a month ago. Sorry, Judge.
Mr. Graham?
yeah, based on her message, like Mr. Tisdale said, it was a while ago. So,
Okay.
because I don't know if when she texted me, she was already in the field. It seemed like she was already in the field, which is why
Okay.
she wasn't getting my message. So I'm really not sure, but she says 30 days. So it could have been already, she probably could have been in the middle of it or at the tail end of it, but I'm not sure.
Okay. But that was the first part of March, correct, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, then let me hear what the ad litem has to say, and hopefully we don't have to do another hearing. But guys, yeah, this was a little iffy. Okay, it really is. Sorry.
And I understand that, Judge. And just one more thing, just if I may, if the court does decide to leave the child with mother, I believe my client did everything that the court required of him to reacquaint himself with the child and everything. So we would ask whether, if we're going to have another hearing, then maybe the court can make more temporary orders for him to get a standard possession order at this time.
Yeah.
Or if the court decides to go ahead and finalize and leave the child with mom as the primary, that my client go ahead and have a standard possession order going forward.
All right, then let me see what the ad litem says. Let's see what we got to go on here, and of course the court can do anything in between. I could start doing things, making her responsible for transportation costs, things like that, to show the court's unhappiness with the circumstances. But again, right now I'm only hearing one side of the story. So anyway, guys, thank you very much, sir. I'll go ahead and let's get with the ad litem, and again, and get him a copy of the transcript of this. It'll be available as soon as we stop. So I'll get him a copy of that, and we'll see if there's anything else the ad litem needs. So is there anything else at this point, then, Ms. Longat?
No, Your Honor. Just that we did have so many things reserved from that temporary order, as old as it is. So I look forward to hearing what the court wants to do after hearing from Mr. Glass.
All right, thank you. All right, anything else, Mr. Tisdale?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much, sir. Have fun in Alabama, Hawaii, and the Philippines. That is that is a travel log I have never heard before in my life, but hey, I'm pretty sure somebody's done it. So good luck, sir. Take care.
That's right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're off the record. Thank you.
So the funniest part about this is that I actually watched the second part before I watched the first part. You can see that I had recorded an hour of cases, and then this popped up. The ad litem showed up, and I was like recording it, listening to it, like, what? And so I pretty much right away, oh my god, the ad litem right here looks like Cody fucking the guy from Sister Wives, right? If he got a little bit fat. I'm sure he has, actually. Allegedly. Anyways, so I saw I saw this part and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go back to get it. And so I did. And we also got this. So, Dad, we won't hear from again. This is just going to be the lawyers talking and what the judge decides to do in this case. And it's just like 18 minutes. Everyone's so quiet indeed. Mr. Glass is the yeah, I like your hair, bro.
All right, then, Ms. Monga, what do you have?
Is he? Oh yeah, because this
Your Honor,
is
this
clean.
one was the Coriel case ending in 53639, where Mr. Tisdale's client, Mr. Graham, had to leave due to a work conflict, but he did testify regarding their request for him to be primary or, in the alternative, have the standard possession order. And I believe the court was waiting on Mr. Glass to weigh in as attorney ad litem for the child.
And Coriel case.
And Joshua Tisdale for Mr. Graham. My client is not present at this time, Judge, but we're happy to proceed.
Woohoo! NPC!
Get that one back to you.
Yay! Keeping my dopamine high. Thank you.
I got it. I got it. Yeah.
I think this judge is always trying to center his like crest instead of his face. But I get it. Everybody deals with being on Zoom in different ways. It's hard to be under scrutiny all the time. I just about knocked something over. But I didn't. Oh, I want to share with you guys something. A little tit or tit to tat argument that me and my roommate had the other day. He laughed at me and
All right, we're now back on the
asked
record
how
on
many
Coriel
glasses
County.
I had broken. But I managed to reply with, yeah, because I'm the only one that fucking does any dishes. And he started laughing and walked away. He knew he had lost the argument. He didn't want to say it, but he absolutely realized the error of his ways. Like, oh shit. Yeah, I don't fucking break glasses when I'm using them. When I'm cleaning them. He just like ran away. I ran after. I was like, yeah, that's right. You don't have much to say about that, do you?
Calls number DC 53639. This is the interest of Graham minor child. Not custodial party being Robert Graham, custodial party being Evan Johnson. The court will know for the record the court started the hearing before. My understanding is Mr. Glass had another matter in another court that he was taking care of, but did give permission to go forward at least and get the testimony. Mr. Graham is currently still in the United States military. Ms. Johnson is still in the United States military. He is stationed in Hawaii, but currently in Alabama. So there was the necessity of getting his testimony at this time. Mr. Glass is present. Mr. Glass, Mr. Tisdale asked that his client be named custodial party at this time. Well, the joint manager conservative with the right to decide domicile, ask for child support, so forth and so on. The court wanted to hear from you before the court made any decision on this one, sir. Again, I did let them know that may be a stretch here. I got a 4-year-old who's I don't think has ever been away from mom, but mom was not present today. She obviously, I think she knows about today's hearing. So at this time, sir, I'll go ahead and let you make an opening statement. Tell the court what you know. Andy, my understanding is, and do you know why the mother didn't appear today? The father did testify that the mom told him that she had a 30-day assignment in the field, but that was during the first week, the first few days of March, and obviously that 30 days is up now. So I'll ask you for your input at this time, sir, to tell the court what you know and what you're requesting we do here in behalf of your client, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. So this has been kind of a strange case to be an ad litem on. Mom, of course, having been stationed in Korea, took a child with her, dad being in Hawaii. As I'm sure you remember, we arranged a visit, helped out with some electronic communication. But over the course of the case, my opinion is that mom looked at ways, certainly she couldn't avoid an assignment in Korea, but then it's up to the service member as to whether or not they seek a consecutive overseas assignment. It's not something that the military forces you to go from one OCONUS to another OCONUS assignment. So it looks to me like ultimately mom is kind of gaming the system a little bit here to prevent dad from having visits. And that's also in my communication with her what I think she was doing. Now, as far as the suitability of each parent, I have no concerns that either of these parents are protective and want to participate to the fullest extent possible in their child's life. So I have no
You guys, I don't know if you buy Bill and hi American Courts. Thanks for being here. By the way, it's 4 p.m. Pacific time. I am on the West Coast Pacific, just like LA time, baby. Anyways, I'm not sure if you guys caught that. This is a scathing, absolutely scathing report from a guardian ad litem. This is very serious. Very serious. Very rarely do you hear ad litem speak in such precise terms. An ad litem is spelled ADLITEM, I think, and it means a lawyer that's appointed to represent the child in this case. This lawyer has, not this one, this lawyer is dad's lawyer, but the one up there, Mr. Glass, is the child's lawyer. And is duty bound, sorry, I'm choking, duty bound by the courts as an officer of the court to represent that child in their best interest. And so it is when there's a concern about both parents and there needs to be somebody independent with the best interest of the child out there that the court can rely on and can turn to in times like this. Now, different counties have different rules about ad litems. I've talked about that. You don't need to be a lawyer necessarily to be an ad litem. However, it's very common that they are lawyers because they need to be able to represent in court. Now, but I'm not going to talk about it now, but there are certain counties that I've really questioned the ad litems that get appointed. I think it's a fucking racket. The thousands of dollars that they charge, and then they're not even fucking lawyers. They're just cronies of the court. But that's another case, another day, another thing. Anyways, this ostensibly this is what it usually is, which is an attorney who has spoken with both parents extensively, and then now is reporting to the court about what is in the best interest of this child who has been taken out of the country against a standing order. And the reason I say it's very serious what he's saying is because it's very strong language. It becomes now two against one, and mom's not here, nor does she have a lawyer. Very bad.
Nothing bad to say about either parent other than I think mom is looking at ways to prevent dad from having access to the child.
All right. Again, that's from the information I got. Again, she's not here to say anything differently. That's what I was getting. And
Yeah.
again, the court is, we're dealing with a small child. I got various means at my disposal to do things. One of which I'm thinking about is cutting her child support in half and giving that money to dad. So he may have to do some travel, because it look like dad may have to do some traveling. So any input on what the child support should be like, or any expenses that I have to make taken into account because of what mom's doing, sir? Any feedback on that, Mr. Glass?
Judge, I would say I think that's a great way to go. And because, as I said, I don't have any problems with either parent, but dad definitely, loves this child, needs to be part of this child's life. And holy cow, travel expenses from Hawaii to Korea, from Hawaii to Germany to I can't imagine the kind of expenses that he would incur. And then once he gets to a place, not just the travel, but he's got to get something that's suitable for the child. And in Europe, traveling over there, much different with, guest houses and things like that. It's not just like you pull up into the Holiday Inn in Baumholder or something and get a hotel room like that. So it's expensive to travel around Europe, and it's expensive to get a place to stay there.
All right, everybody. All right, then, anything else, sir? Because I'm looking at taking this one under advisement to try to figure out what I want to try to do here, and I'm going to let both the other lawyers give me a closing based on what you've told the court today, Mr. Glass. Thank you. Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Tisdale, you're up again, sir.
Judge, I think that the ad litem's report tracks what we were arguing, that mom has basically done everything in her power, essentially since this kid was born, to try to keep dad from this kid. She left the United States. She went to South Korea. Now she has extended her overseas assignment to Germany. She even told the court previously that she was trying to extend her stay in South Korea for another tour. So I think that my client needs to have custody of this kid, or he's never going to be able to see this kid. I think
Tisdale,
even if he has...
Mr. Tisdale, you're asking me to take a 4-year-old away from their mother, who they've never been away from, all their siblings, and then have dad show up and take the child out of another country where I got no jurisdiction. You're asking me to do a lot here, sir, but I'll let you go ahead and tell the court how you think I could actually get away with doing this, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Judge. I have 9 kids of my own, Judge. And
you're a better man than I am, Mr. Tisdale. I'm sorry.
Judge,
So
I understand 4-year-olds, and I get it. And I think that dad is communicating with this kid. Dad did show up for summer possession in South Korea. He said the kid was happy to see him. He said the kid was excited. He said the kid was sad when he left. And I don't think that, especially at 4, I don't think that there would be significant issues in changing from mom to dad. Would he be sad that he's not seeing mom? My client's not saying mom can't see the kid. My client's not saying that mom shouldn't have possession. My client's not saying that mom can't come to visit. And so I don't think there's any issues there. But I think that if dad gets even a standard possession order, even if you cut the child support and allow him to go to Germany, I think it's still a stretch that she even allows this kid to go with him for a visit. And so that's my concern there.
Okay, Mr. Glass.
Judge, just to weigh in on that a little bit, with mom being on active duty, and I think this is true with either parent, it's something that we'd have to address with dad too. Either of these parents is subject to deploy at any point. Right now, there is a possibility that mom still may be on a field exercise. Where's that child? I don't know. So my thinking is, as you take this under advisement, I would just ask that you consider, right now, if mom's in the field, she's not with that child.
All right. And Bongat.
Wow, that's actually another very persuasive argument on behalf of the child by the attorney ad litem. Thank you for the correction, MB. I know. Sometimes I catch these cases. You have to understand, I was recording this and I hadn't heard the first part or got it yet. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, this is insane. And I was like counting down the moments until it was over so that I could rush back and get the original testimony from Dad. Because I was like, this is an insane request. And guess what? It gets crazier as the judge continues to talk.
Thank you, Your Honor. Upon review of the temporary order, this court had reserved the findings for income as to both parents and just set the $650 amount from Mr. Graham to Ms. Johnson. Based on his testimony earlier about having a pay grade, of E6 with 11 years of service, the military pay tables.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, MB. You're so sweet. I love you. I love the dopamine too. I can't lie. Thank you for the support and the dopamine and being here. I hope your test goes well. But seriously, what a crazy case. What a crazy case. Thank you. My brain's like all over the place.
Provided by DFAS indicate that base pay is $5,074.80 and the BAH for this Fort Cavazos area remains $1,581. And so guideline for him, one child in, one out, comes out to $1,019.98. And that's taking into account that neither parent has a cost for TRICARE, whichever of them covers the child subject of the suit.
Okay, do you have a readout on what mom's child support would be?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Johnson's would be $813 based on one child in, two out, and E5 as her pay grade with 9 years of service.
All right, guys. All right, I want to take this under advisement. Mr. Glass, you need to get a hold of your client's mother and let her know that the court is considering giving the father custody because of her behavior and not appearing here today. She better be able, if she didn't appear here today due to some type of military circumstance, then she better be able to prove that before I have another hearing on this. Let her understand that. All right.
Understood, Judge.
All right, because I'm with y'all on this. I think she's playing games, but again, there are ways to deal with playing games, like a motion for enforcement and a jail sentence waiting for her when she comes back to the United States with a warrant. Okay, I don't think the Army likes you getting warrants so issued for your arrest by keeping a parent away from another military member. So yeah, there are things that could be done. But the bottom line is, I need to confirm that she wasn't in the field during this time frame, sir, before I consider the nuclear option. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all all a lot. And Mr. Tisdale,
Yes, Judge.
if I do go your route, sir, I'm going to need a detailed plan on how you plan on getting this done. Because again, a Texas order in Germans don't like orders from the United States, much less Texas. Okay, so
I am aware of that, Your Honor. I've been down that road twice in professionally in Hague issues. We've got an American
okay, I
citizen on the
haven't been
other
on that
side
road
this
in over
time,
20
so.
years, but I've been down that road too, and I remember no, Germany's the least cooperative of all our allies. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
The time I dealt with Great Britain, I had no problems. But yeah, it was fun with the Federal Republic. Okay, so
Yes,
anyway,
Judge.
so let me know what your plan might be, because it might need to be part of the court order, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Understood.
All right, thank y'all all very much. I'm going to reset this for possible review and information confirmation. Mr. Glass, when's the next time you're on the general docket, sir?
Oh gosh, Judge. I think next week.
Next time you're on the general docket, at least 2 weeks out. Let's put it that way. Let's get past Easter and any and income tax and all that other stuff. Okay.
Yes, sir. I think we're looking May first. What do we have the first week of? First or second week of May.
Okay, oh wow, you're not showing up for a while. Okay.
Correct, Your
Let's
Honor. I
see
see Mr. Glass is on the May 1st docket with one case.
Okay. All right, let's do May 1st then as a reset on this one. Then Mr. Tisdale, see if you can make that. And again, if you find out, sir, that she is on out in the field, that's the reason for her not being here and not being able to testify. Let Mr. Tisdale know and let her know that custody's at play now because of the extension of duty out of the United States. Okay, so
yes, sir.
And Judge, I can do that as long as it's still by Zoom. I do have a hearing in district court.
Okay, the first is not our Wednesday docket. I hadn't looked at the calendar.
It's a
No,
Thursday.
Your Honor, that's a Thursday.
Yeah, that's a Thursday. So it's a Zoom docket, sir. Yes.
Yes, Judge. Should be good.
All right, then. All right, thank y'all all very much. Again, thanks for making this one's complicated as all get out.
It certainly is, Judge.
Yeah, I've run around the bases on this one backwards, forwards, and I've gone now I'm going from first to second, then back to home, and then now to third, and then back to home because this was just so out of the ordinary. So
yes, Judge.
Yeah, okay. Baseball season now. I got to come up with baseball metaphors. Okay. So, and unfortunately, nobody's paying me $700 million to throw that old rawhide around. So yeah. 700 million guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Yep. Not. Yeah.
That's real money.
Could be more than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Baseball talk.
That would be
all right. Thank you, gentlemen. And like I said, I'll see y'all on that date. And if anybody comes up with something, if you need some information or some information comes your care that you think I need to know about, send a copy to everyone else, CC everyone else, and then forward a copy to Belinda. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Freaking
Thank
out
you.
at
Thank
this
y'all all.
point.
We're off the record. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Paisley already set the alarm for the day before, reminding me about this case on May 1st. Yay! So we're gonna get some follow-up. I mean, I guess it wasn't a ruling. I apologize, but it was definitely more than we normally get, and interesting comments from the ad litem. I think there's a chase. I don't know if it's still going on, but I wonder. Anyways, I am so glad that you were here today and that we spent some time together. I have to go, though. But guess what? I have a wicked case for us tomorrow. It's going to be a daytime case, probably the afternoon, and like 1 p.m. Pacific, maybe actually earlier. Let's say like 11 Pacific, which is 2 East. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead. I'll give you a little teaser. Dad has 2 sets of twins, 2 baby mamas, and a lot of drama. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I appreciate all the support today. Thank you again for being here. Do me a favor. Remember that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
down and ready to ride.